When it's this season, that's what I do. I get crazy for acorns. My name's Patty Franklin, tribal member of Scotts Valley Vanderpomo Indians. Our tribe is landless. We don't have a reservation, and so we've had to rely on public lands. I'm gonna have to go back later. Land access is always an issue, but it's been nice having people that will let us gather on the land, and without that, it'd be really hard. I grew up a lot on the Hopland Res, and I lived next door to Alice Elliott, my Aunt Bonnie's mother-in-law. I would just see them outside processing the acorns, pounding them, and anything that my aunt had me eat, I would eat, teas and things like that, even though they didn't taste great. Just if she wanted me to, drink it, I would drink it. She'd say, "It's Indian tea." She was a basket weaver. She made regalia too, and so I do those things too, and I'm thankful today to have people who, have taught me and been a part of my journey. The kids will always say, "Okay, Mom, it's time to go." I come up with these little sayings and things with my kids. No acorn left behind. Or when one drops, I'll be like, "That acorn wants to come with us," and kind of makes it fun, but it's how I think too, Plants, they're like our relatives. If you just think of them as a thing, it's easy to have space between you. If you think of them as family, then you have more of a respect for them, and they do so much for us. They feed us, they nurture us, they give us oxygen. I really enjoy that relationship and respect it. Yeah, whenever we use that roller, the nut roller, to gather them, it gathers everything. Rocks, sticks. Make sure there's no pinholes in them. My husband, he didn't always gather with us. He'd just go make it in the morning, just make a pot of acorn mush like it was easy. So I said, "You should process it yourself, But I wanted him to know what goes into it and why I treat it so precious. And so he actually made it last year, and he did such a good job. So then once it's dried, then you begin to take off that membrane. And people do different ways. Nowadays everything's just so fast, especially since we work, but our ancestors, that's what they did. I think you just develop a relationship with your food when you actually go out, you gather it, you process it, then you nurture people with it. Instead of doing that, I'll just put them in the Vitamix. I was diagnosed with diabetes, and the first thing I did was just went on an acorn fast. I never ever had to take medicine. That's kind of how I treated it, just with traditional food, and I still check it. It's never been high. I still get my A1C and all of that, but I give credit to our foods, We'll see how that did. I usually always have a class for the tribe to give anyone who wants to learn an opportunity to learn. When you learn cultural things, traditions, and things like that, the way to pay that back to the people that teach you and to, everyone is to teach it to someone else. You kind of get it wet, 24 hours, taste it, and then if it's not bitter, it's done. And if it is still bitter, you just keep leaching it. This is called the drip method. Usually when I gather, I have one of my kids with me always. It does feel good, and it is like a family thing that we do. It's like our time away from the electronics, to spend time together and just talk or not talk,